my name is Classic Alyxander. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm an author, a visionary, a person. I have a lot of different things that I'm actually wanting to share with you guys. One of the main things is actually my writings. So I'm in the process right now of creating a book that I believe is going to be astronomical. It's going to be beautiful. It's a story about a group of friends. The characters are not real characters, they're not real people, of course, but the traits and the personalities of these characters are pulled from true people, from true events, from myself as well, to be able to create this beautiful story. It is a story about the awareness of releasing our emotional baggage and what happens when we don't, and then what happens when we do. How to get to know people, you know, based off of how they need to be known, not how you view other people. So it's really interesting. It's actually helping me myself get to know people in my life that I may have formed like a misguided perception on that person based on things that they have done or things that have happened. So it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be really good, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. Throughout the video, if you guys hear any kind of outside noise, any kind of just like hysteria, no, just kidding. But I have a dog. You saw him right here. His name is Saint. I'm thinking about renaming him, but he's a pit bull. I'll let you guys get a look at him. Look. His name is Saint. He is 1 year old, 1 year old and 4 months. Yeah, 4 months. He's a big boy, and he is just so lovely, full of just love, unchartered energy, and just curiosity and things like that. Yes, he gets on my nerves, but this is my baby and he loves me. So I appreciate that. But yeah, if y'all hear any noise, it's this guy right here making all the commotion. Okay, get down, Baba. All right, so he's gonna try to get back up here. So before we get too far into it, I want to let you guys know that I do have social media tags that you can actually contact me or keep up with me at. They're going to be in the description box below. I'm just going to say that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I have these notes. This is notes. This is 1 page of notes on Cassandra. Just character development. I have the other characters here, which we're not going to go into. This is actually like a journal entry to basically describe how she feels. You see like in the middle how it starts to get like really just like irate sort of. I wanted to really get into the emotion of that character and things like that. So I'm going to be referencing my notes, of course. That's why I wrote them. This one right here actually has like the formats of how, like the order of what we're going to be talking about stuff. And I had to write a little note on there because your girl gets nervous talking in front of the camera. But I have to practice because I'm manifesting things in my life that are going to require me to do things that are not comfortable. And excuse my nails, your girl has not redone them. Yeah. So whatever. Anyway, the character that I'm actually going to be introducing to you guys today is Cassandra Heder. She is a first generation Haitian American. Her family actually moved from Haiti is what, you know, the indigenous people of this country used to call it. Currently name is Haiti, so Haiti. Moved from there when she was about 14 with her older brother. He doesn't have a name just yet because he doesn't play he does play a huge role, but he doesn't play like a leading role. So I'll most likely give him a name later. But right now he doesn't have a name. So the brother was at the time 17 and she was 14. The parents, let's just get into the parents. Parents are very strict. Of course, they came to America for a better future for not only themselves, but also their children. So they're really just focused on finishing school, getting good grades, getting a good job, getting a good house, home, family, living the American dream, and also stay out of jail. That's a really big one too with the dad. Nor do they think it's absolutely necessary to overshower their children with love and affection, because they feel like it's going to make them soft. So not only are they strict, they also don't show affection in the household. And they also shelter the children as well. They keep them very confined within the home, because they feel like if they just let them loose, if they just let them do what they want to do, or if they give them too many privileges, then that'll cause them to stray away from their plan for their life. Cassandra has a relationship with her family, mainly because that's like the culture. You know, your family is your life. So she has like a cultural closeness to her family, but they're not really that close. The move to America, which they actually ended up in Texas, you know, she heard, you know, probably about 2 or 3 times her family talking about America and, you know, how it's so much better there, how, you know, living the American dream, it's easier to accomplish and establish things, and how they wanted that for the family. But it was never, Cassandra, what do you think about moving to America? How do you feel about, you know, leaving your family and friends here, and picking up and starting a new life? That goes along with the parents not being affectionate. They don't communicate, right? It's all business, 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 goals, 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 do, this, now. It's never about how do you feel? What do you think? What do you want to do? Nothing like that. So Cassandra grew up in a household that was not open, that was not loving, that was not supportive. She felt like her older brother was like the only child. She felt like her only brother was the only child. She felt like they gave more attention to him. She felt like they cared about him more than her, that they considered his opinions over her opinions. She later found out that her brother was the only one that actually knew about the move. Like, they actually conversed with him about the move, not asking, do you want to move, but more so talking to him more about it than they did her. So she just really felt like she wasn't worth anything to them, that she didn't have a sense of worth, that they didn't respect her or trust her or even care deeply about her. One of the things that does come up in her psyche a lot is like the keyword trophy child. She feels like she's a trophy child, like she's just meant to be there, do things, accomplish things, and that's it. That she's not an actual individual person, which stifles her, you know. And being a Scorpio, they want to be in control of things. They want to be in control of their life. They want to be basically front and center of what's happening. And for her, she's never given that opportunity. She's never allowed to step forward and say what's on her mind and put in her opinion on things. And it drives her crazy. So Cassandra does have anger issues. Her family nicknamed her 𝙲𝚊𝚜𝚜𝚅, which means fire in Haitian Creole. So they nicknamed her that, not because, you know, she looks like she's a hot girl, right? They didn't name her that because she's hot girl summer in it, right? They named her that because there are times. Now, she does have a certain fear when it comes to her family, especially her father. But there are times, because that Scorpio energy, where she's not gonna let you just forever and ever and ever do what you want to do. She's going to eventually erupt. And there has been times where she has spoken out and spoken back because of her outspoken nature. So they nicknamed her that, not to compliment her, but actually to say, in a sense, that she's not obedient, that she's not submissive to authority, that she's wild, that she can't be controlled like a fire, like, you know, she can't be controlled. She did not see that to be fair. It's also very condescending. She didn't even seem that she deserved that title, because all the things that she said did not compare to what she wanted to say. The key traits of Cassandra that I have is that she has an obsessive tendency. She never feels like she has the rights to say anything or to own things. Like, nothing is really hers. All she really owns are like clothes and books, but mainly the books are like scholastic books, like they have to do with school, education, skills and traits and stuff like that. She doesn't have any personal things. She feels as if whatever she does choose to have, she obsesses over it, because she finally has the opportunity to choose. She finally has the opportunity to say, this is mine. She finally has the opportunity to own something. So she has an obsessive tendency. She's very passive, you know. She has anger issues. A lot of that anger, like I said, is inside. It's inside. So she may do something and it may come off aggressive. And it's meant, you know what I'm saying? It's meant because she's not able to fully release herself and fully speak or act the way that she wants to act. But she is a very passionate person. Passionate in the way, again, this is a natural trait, but passionate in the way that it seems scary. It seems like it's too much. Like, it seems like it's too much. Like, oh my God, like, what's going on? Like, okay, you know, we're kind of crossing a line here. She will move mountains, skies, universes, galaxies for the people that earned her trust, earned her respect, earned her loyalty, for the people that she chooses to love, and the people that has earned the right to call her a friend, or call her a partner, or call her family. You know, she will move mountains, but it's always up to her. The people that she goes hard for is up to her. Okay. She's also fearful. Her biggest fear is to not be loved and to not be fully accepted for who she is, because she feels like she's way too complicated for people to manage long term. Okay. This friend group, they met each other in her freshman year of college, which to her was amazing, because not only did she have to navigate high school basically by herself, because her older brother, he already started his junior year, so he was basically out by the time, you know, and he didn't know anybody. It took him a while to develop friends as well. So she basically had nobody, and her older brother was kind of like, he was kind of snotty. I'm not gonna lie, he was kind of snotty. So she basically had herself, and so she was so ecstatic to meet Kanaya, who brought her into, who established the group, right? So that was really cool, and she really was appreciative of that. And so for that, and for the character of Kanaya, she basically was like putty, you know. She loved Kanaya so much. Kanaya was actually her favorite person, because she would give her advice, and she would and not even advice, because here's the thing with Scorpios, you can't tell them what to do. Even if you can tell them what to do, you can't tell them what to do, right? So Kanaya knew how to talk to Cassandra to where it wasn't like, this is what you should do, you should probably do that. It was more as in, yeah, it seemed like that person may feel like, you know, may feel distant, or, you know, kind of like uninterested, maybe because they're not getting enough attention. And Kanaya knew for sure that that was the reason, but instead of saying you should give that person more attention, she put it out there as like an open statement, so that, because she knew Cassandra and the character of Kanaya, she knows people to a sense, so she knew how to treat Cassandra, and Cassandra appreciated that, because it was like her first time ever being truly understood and accepted for who she was, despite how complicated everyone made her feel. So talking about friends, there is a friend in the group named 𝙲𝚅𝚜𝚜𝚜. 𝙲𝚅𝚜𝚜𝚜 is prissy, and I don't want to say too much, but 𝙲𝚅𝚜𝚜 is very blunt, let's say that, and that is what turns Cassandra away. Do you hear me? She don't want to listen to 𝙲𝚅𝚜𝚜. She hates when she comes around, because 𝙲𝚅𝚜𝚜 is very opinionated. She has an opinion. I want you guys to guess what sign 𝙲𝚅𝚜𝚜 is. But she's very opinionated. She has, you know, a voice, and she's not afraid to use it. And so, and she's very judgmental. She's low-key judgmental, okay? And she thinks that she's superior and things like that. So that draws Cassandra away. But Cassandra also knows how to prioritize her life and put things in the places that they need to be. Sports and stuff like that has caused her to be very disciplined and think about things in a logical way, more than just always leading by emotion. So she knows that, hey, if I want to keep my friends, the friends that I do like, I'm gonna have to deal with 𝚲𝚊𝚜𝚜. And that's also where some of her passivity comes in, is dealing with her. So she cannot stand 𝚲𝚊𝚜𝚜. She really wishes she can just like get rid of her, like get her out of the friend group, but she can't. You know what I mean? So Cassandra's pretty tall. She plays basketball, volleyball, and track. That's mainly to stay out of the house, but also her family wants her to do sports to keep her busy, and also so she can possibly get a college scholarship, which she does end up doing. So she plays sports. She's about 5'7", 5'8". She's fairly tall. She's a tomboy, so she just wears basically like she wears basically whatever, like t-shirts, jeans. You will not see her in a dress voluntarily. You will not see her in a skirt. You will not see her in heels. Flats is a no. She's wearing slides, tennis shoes. Yeah. The Yeezys, okay? She's wearing tomboy clothes because that's how she feels comfortable. She also has like a slim, muscular build. If you see a track star, just think of like a track star basketball player. She has that sort of build. She also has thick thighs, because not thick, but like thick thighs, because she plays volleyball. You know, volleyball players got them thighs, girl. They got them glutes, okay? But hers is toned because she does sports. And yeah, so, and not only does her build, you know, help her with sports, it also helps her with dating. And you would think like, boys, they don't really want no like a muscular build tomboy. That's not popular, right? And honestly, Cassandra was fine with that. Like, she would actually prefer that, you know, because Cassandra was a lesbian, which brings a lot of chaos in her mind and inside of her like self, inside of her spirit, because of the fact that she never gets to tell her family. She never tells her family. Her mom, her dad, yeah, they don't know, because not only are they very strict, they also inherited the Roman Catholicism religion, that is, you know, that a good majority of Haitian people partake in. So they were not having it. They were not having lesbian. They really didn't even like her wearing like jeans and things like that, and basketball shorts. So around them, she was a girly girl. And even once she moved out the house, when she went around them, she wore dresses, she wore skirts, she wore stockings and flats. Like, she could not break out of that because she was so afraid that they would disown her, and they would, you know, basically hate her, which is out of the norm for a Scorpio. Scorpios usually don't care. Like, they demand to orchestrate and navigate their life. But for her, it was different because she didn't have anybody here. The only people she had here was her friend group. And before that, she had nobody but her family. She does have an Aunt Winona, that lives in Dallas. Yes, Cassandra could go to her aunt, but she doesn't when it comes to super personal matters, because she just thinks that she's gonna tell her mom. And not to be like, oh, guess what Cassandra's doing, but how you gonna let this baby, let her do what she wanna do? I don't understand why you still listening to the ways of mom and dad. You're in a whole different country, you know. But then she would still get outed, and then Cassandra has to go home to that, and she didn't want to have to deal with it. So she just wouldn't tell. So yeah, closet lesbian, basically doesn't tell her family. Only her friends know. People at the school know too. One of the main relationships that she had was with Tiffany. Tiffany is also in the friend group, okay? Which is not surprising, because she needed someone who was close. She needed someone that she could trust. She wanted someone who has already proven their loyalty to her. Why not somebody that's in her friend circle? So she ends up talking to Tiffany. Tiffany is the exact opposite of Cassandra, which allowed Cassandra to feel free, to feel light and airy and full of life. She made her feel alive. Okay, y'all guess what sign is that? Tiffany was the wild child of the group. Yes, very much so expressive, very much so said what she wanted to say, not to like hurt nobody, but just because this is what I have to say, so I'm gonna say it. Cassandra fell in love with Tiffany very fast and very hard, because they had already been friends for a while. And once she actually crossed that line to talk to Tiffany, it was over. It was over for her, and it was over for Tiffany. She was already in love. She wanted nothing else but to be with Tiffany for the rest of their life. Yeah, so obsessive, you know, very fast. But I mean, it's understood, especially when you need somebody there to basically be your pillow and be your sword, right? To be your comforter, and also to be the person that stands up for you. The love between Tiffany and Cassandra was a two-way street. It was not one person loved the other person more, one person didn't really like the other person. It was a two-way street of love. They both loved each other. They both had a safety net with each other. So much so that Tiffany held back a truth from Cassandra that basically ends it all. She was so afraid that she would reject her, that she wouldn't love her anymore. So she waited. She wanted to wait until the right time, but the right time ended up never coming. And so when Cassandra found out, it was the last straw. I mean, if anything could define the last straw, that was the last straw. Cassandra went through the roof, honey. Like, she was just done. She was done with everybody. She felt like she couldn't trust anybody. The only person that she felt like she could still trust was Caleb. Caleb's another person in the friend group. So there's 5 friends. So Caleb is another person in the friend group, and Caleb is Cassandra's best friend. Cassandra actually brought Caleb into the friend group. And I'm not gonna talk too much again about the character, but Caleb is very sassy, very sure of himself. He is him, right? Very fierce and very passionate. So he is Cassandra's best friend because, again, Cassandra loves people that will stick by her, listen to her, and accept her. And so he is there for her. And he is the one who helps Cassandra clean up the mess that she makes. So you guys, that is Cassandra. Cassandra Heder, and her personality, her traits, some history about her parents, her friendships, yeah, and her sign as well. I would love for anybody to just let me know if you know any Scorpios. Has this connected with what you believe that Scorpio is like? Has it opened up your mind a little bit on how they behave, and just being able to accept them a little bit more? Because that's all people want, is just a little acceptance. Also, are you excited for the development of this character and the development of this story, including this character? Cassandra's going to play a huge, exciting role in the making of this book, and I'm so excited to see it all unfold. I'm excited to see, how, you guys respond to it and how the story plays out. Things are going to be really, really fun, really exciting. There's going to be twists and turns. There's going to be awakenings and understandings, and that's the whole point of creating, is to put something out there that's going to make you happy and connect with other people. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay on board with what we're doing, so you can get those notifications, so you'll know who the next character is and know about that character a little bit more. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about Cassandra. Let me know what you think about Scorpios in general. Yeah, and you guys have a great day. It's just talking. Okay. You got this. You got this. beautiful one. You got this, my love. You got this. You got this. If you believe it, you can create it. You believe that you can make this YouTube video, you can create this YouTube video. You got it. Okay.